2, 1.
Happy Monday.
It is another start of the work week, and I gotta say, I was feeling just a little bit sluggish right now, but Jamie, Director Jamie, counting us down got me ready to go. That was very, that was good stuff there, Jamie. Really appreciate the countdown as we get set for another week of KSAT News Now.
And it starts right now. We're streaming on KSAT.com and KSAT Plus, and of course, podcasting on all our platforms.
Yeah, definitely hit us with that like, rate, and subscribe. And you can also find us there as well, any place that you find your podcast. So speaking of KSAT News Now today, we have a pretty interesting mix of stories here. First one here, how Latino restaurant owners can win up to $40,000 for their businesses or potentially their food trucks.
And this one I'm excited about. Dak is back. What he had to say about the Cowboys' chances to make it to the Super Bowl.
All right, always love the excitement there with Cowboy season on the way. And some other news here, the U.S. Senate passes a major bill that could pay off for people looking to maybe buy an electric car in the future.
We also have more about the migrants that are being bused from Texas to New York. The latest in that back and forth between Governor Greg Abbott and New York City's mayor. But first, we start with Uvalde.
That's right. Today is the start of school for a couple of local districts, but in Uvalde, another school board meeting for that district is scheduled for tonight. And in this meeting, they will continue to discuss some updating parents on security measures and other sort of administrative things as they get set for the new school year.
Yeah, so the district will not start school today.
Till Labor Day.
Yeah, so this will be another chance for parents and the community to ask questions. The board is also expecting to address the latest staff changes within the district.
And over the weekend, we learned that former principal of Robb Elementary School, Mandy Gutierrez, will return to the district in a new role.
The superintendent sent a letter saying she would now be the assistant director of special education. Christy Perez, a tenured district employee, was named as the new elementary school principal.
And this switch comes just 2 weeks after Mandy Gutierrez was put on paid administrative leave after the Texas House report found that she knew about broken locks to room 111 and never put in a work order. It also said that she never used the intercom to communicate during that lockdown. Tonight's
meeting is an open forum, so we're expecting to hear reaction to this decision from parents. It starts at 6 at the high school, and we'll be covering it throughout our later newscast here at KSAT.
All right, and moving on to some other news this morning as we talk about the state. Governor Greg Abbott is keeping true of his promise to bus migrants out of Texas. This comes as a second busload of migrants arrived to the Big Apple yesterday, and the mayor there, Eric Adams, was there to greet them. However, he had more to say.
Yeah, so on Friday, 50 migrants arrived to New York City. Officials had expected 40 migrants on the bus yesterday, but only 14 were dropped off. Some migrants reported to Adams they were forced onto the bus and they had different destinations other than New York City. Adams said what the governor of Texas is doing is, quote, horrific.
On Friday, Governor Abbott announced the new destination for migrants to allegedly offer relief to border towns, saying, in quotes, in addition to Washington, D.C., New York City is the ideal destination for these migrants who can receive the abundance of city services and housing that Mayor Eric Adams has boasted about within the sanctuary city, end quote.
So that's not the only places he's busing migrants to. Last month, Abbott authorized the transport of migrants back to the border, raising the question if the state has the power to do anything like this. Now, the American Civil Liberties Union is calling on federal authorities to investigate, and they're asking for this to stop.
Abbott's order authorizes the Texas Department of Public Safety officers to drive migrants to the border ports of entry where immigration authorities can more easily process the immigrants.
So the civil liberties groups is calling federal government to take several actions, including monitoring the Eagle Pass port of entry specifically to make sure that these federal agents are acting appropriately, as well as collecting data, but also publicizing it on the state authority for the transfer of people from Texas DPS to federal immigration agents. So again, that big question there, does the state of Texas, does the governor really have the authority to enforce this? Because we know that that specifically, the transportation, that's in the hands of federal authorities. So there's a lot of muddy waters, if you will, right now when it comes to immigration and how the governor is handling it.
Yeah, and the entire process of busing migrants out of the state, I know that that's been going on for some time now, but now you hear it seems like there's this back and forth going on between New York City leaders and the governor here, and we just heard right there, you know, whether the amount of migrants that are being reported that are going up there, whether the ones that actually show up to those cities, I mean, who knows what's going on in between that transportation process.
And some are saying, you know, that the governor, because he is up for re-election, that he's using this immigration issue as a pawn. And, you know, the first time that he started busing these migrants was to Washington, D.C. to show Biden the issue that is at hand. And he did invite the mayor of New York City down to the border, and the team over there in New York City did decline that. So we'll keep you updated on what happens with that. But here in San Antonio?
Yes, there will be a local town hall meeting tonight to discuss immigration. So this comes more than a month, of course, after that deadly migrant tragedy here where 53 migrants died in the back of a hot 18-wheeler. Sheriff Javier Salazar will be hosting the event along with several other panelists, including Precinct 1 Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores. And this is all happening at 7 o'clock tonight at the downtown UTSA campus. Doors there open at 6 o'clock.
All right, in more federal news, healthcare, taxes, and climate. That's all part of the major bill that Senate Democrats passed over the weekend after 15 hours of debate and negotiations.
And this bill is called the Inflation Reduction Act and cuts down the cost of prescription drugs and makes sure that large corporations pay income taxes.
It also includes record high spending for clean energy plans. So what that means is that tax credits to build electric vehicles and solar panels. There's also a $7,500 tax rebate for people to buy electric vehicles, and another $9 billion to retrofit low-income homes.
Yes, so this bill now goes to the U.S. House and will likely be passed on Friday once it hit President Biden's desk. But no Senate Republicans voted to pass this bill. They say that this bill is actually taking advantage of people being upset over the economy and inflation, and is just another reckless and taxing spending spree. I am interested in the part about the obviously the electric cars. I don't know if that's something that would ever entice you to maybe do that if you were to get like this tax rebate back. $7,000? I don't know.
I honestly do not know enough about electric vehicles. One of the things that I recently was made aware of is like a Tesla. I mean, it's good for short distances, but when you're talking about a road trip, it's not really ideal. So is it something that I would consider? I think so. I think there is more reading to do and learning about this.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that these Teslas, they require these batteries, but they obviously need to be recharged as you are on their way. And I remember we did a story where that was going to be part of another state transportation plan to add more of these recharging stations on these long distances. So maybe a couple of these other things will get people to think about electric. I'm not ready to go there.
I was going to say,
but
don't you have to, you can't just replace the battery like once it's out? Like, don't you just have to get a brand new vehicle? Is that?
That part I'm not sure. I do know you have to like supercharge it. Like there's a backup.
Think it's a little tedious.
Yeah, there's a backup energy to the regular battery.
Would $7,500 do
okay.
for you? Not for me,
Yeah,
not this
not at the
time.
moment, not at the moment.
All right, so tacos. So many people love tacos, food trucks, taquerias, Mexican restaurants, you name it. But did you know that Latino-owned businesses are less likely to receive a bank loan in comparison to their non-Latino competitors?
All right, a company wants to take care of this. So they're called Siete Foods, and they're giving $40,000 away to help Latinos open or expand their own businesses. And of course, Siete is the Spanish word for the number 7.
This company is actually Texas-based, so that's pretty cool. A Texas mother-daughter team won this contest last year. Applications for the contest are now open, and the money is available for taco trucks, taco stands, Mexican restaurants, and taquerias anywhere in the U.S. I think just one of the stipulations is that it has to have the word taco in the name.
Ah, very interesting. Okay, so prizes range from $5,000 to $25,000, and you have until August 19th to apply. Details about this contest are at sietefoods.com. So you're right, they are based out of, I think, the Austin area. Yeah, and you can see that they've done a lot there for a lot of Mexican American food brands. They say that they're rooted in family, and that makes obviously tacos delicious, better-for-you products as well. They're doing a bunch of stuff.
So if you love Taco Tuesday, now you can have it 7 days a week. Not that we
Taco
needed any
every
other
day?
excuse
Yeah.
to do so.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right. Maybe some people were out and about this weekend, had themselves some tacos, visited some different places, food trucks. We had some okay weather, I
It
would
was
say.
like a slight relief.
Yeah.
I felt it.
Saturday
It felt
on
better.
9/10, it felt okay.
We were below 100. I got a little bit of rain in my house. It wasn't much. Lasted like 10 seconds,
bit.
but it was rain. I don't know that the grass responded to that, but it was good to see that there was some rain around, and I think that we're going to get some more chances down the road, especially as we get later into the week. We've also got some activity in the Atlantic starting to brew, guys, so that's kind of where our trivia question goes. And for the record, you guys would have no way of knowing the answer to this question.
What? Wow.
Unless
What
you
little
did some
face.
serious research. So this
I
is
did
just
some serious. I'm just
this is,
kidding,
this is
maybe.
just more of a fun
saw the
question,
answer.
but which name has not been used during an Atlantic hurricane season? Your choices are Paloma, Stan, Fifi, or Delilah,
Which has not been used.
which has not been used. So one of these has not been used.
I feel like Stan reminds me of that Eminem song.
Stan.
I think a Paloma.
Okay.
Okay, Stan to me is just like the most boring name out of like the three. It's
Stan.
just like, hey, Stan, Hurricane Stan. Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
I have heard that.
Ooh, okay, has
Come on,
not been
Bridget.
used during the Atlantic hurricane season. You know what? Let's go see Fifi. That just seems such like an
Fifi.
out there name. to
Okay.
use.
All right. Well, the answer is actually D, Delilah.
Hey there,
Is that a radio show?
Delilah.
Oh yeah, there's that song too. Yeah, so Hurricane Paloma was in 2008, Hurricane Stan 2005, Hurricane Fifi way back in 1974. All of them were pretty damaging hurricanes actually, but Delilah has not made the list yet.
Yet.
So they go by alphabetical order, right? And then if
Correct.
the name has been used in previous years, they'll just use another name.
No, they'll use it again unless
Oh,
it gets
okay.
retired. And
Oh.
in order to get retired, it has to be like a very impactful storm. So Harvey,
Rita, Katrina.
Katrina,
Yeah.
obviously retired. Those won't be used again, but some are. Some are. Yeah, so there you go.
So Delilah, we could see a Delilah.
Delilah, we could eventually.
Wait, that's not Delilah.
Yeah, that's not the song. All right.
Man, RJ's been rocking the tunes on this show. I love it.
Always.
Trying.
Let's look across the Atlantic. There's not much going on. It has been so quiet most of the season, but we finally do have one system here off the coast of Africa. I mean, it's way out here, okay? It's just coming off the coast, but it does look rather impressive. It's got some thunderstorm activity with it, and this should give us a chance. It does have a chance for some development as we go forward. If the graphics will go, there they go. You can see some of the thunderstorm activity there, and this has about a 40% chance of development going forward over the next 5 days. So there's a chance here. It may get named, but if you look down the line, this thing probably curves north into the Atlantic and doesn't affect us here in Texas. Chances are it won't, but we'll watch it. 86 degrees at the airport, 85 Stinson, 87 Kelly, 87 Randolph. We've got southerly winds, not very strong right now, out of the south, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour, and there is some cloud cover. We had some morning clouds, now getting some afternoon cumulus, but so far this hasn't resulted in any sort of rain or anything like that. There is a small chance today of seeing a pop-up shower. Temperatures, again, in the 80s in most spots. Here around San Antonio, mid-80s. 91, though, already in Pleasanton, 92 in Divine. Those are the two hot spots as of right now. So let's look at the forecast. As for today, there is a slight opportunity for a pop-up shower storm, pretty much like what we've seen the last couple of days. A select few will get a little bit of rain. This shows quite a bit. I don't think it's quite that active this evening. We're only going to put in a 10% chance. And temperatures, I think, probably stay below 100 today. 99 is what we're going with. 96 Fair Oaks Ranch, 97 in Seguin, 97 down there in Floresville. And as we look down the line, this is where I'm hopeful. We finally got a little bit of a pattern shift. So our old friend, the ridge of high pressure, gets far enough north to where we get a little disturbance that slides underneath it. And it's going to move across South Texas. We've seen a few of these this year, but this one's a little stronger. Taps into a little bit more moisture, so we're going to bring rain chances up to 30%. That's Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. And then I think we also see that on Friday as it's still moving across the area. And then by Saturday, it's far enough west to where it's only a very small chance for rain. So Thursday and Friday are kind of the days that we're highlighting here for decent rain chances. 100 tomorrow, 100 on Wednesday. So by the way, if we do hit 100 either today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, we will tie second place for most 100-degree days. Could happen. 30% chance rain Thursday, Friday, highs in the mid-90s perhaps, and then back near 100 this weekend. But if we could get some rain on Thursday and Friday, and I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to get good rain, but it looks better than what we've seen out of these last few systems, guys.
All right. And these temperatures are mostly normal for August?
A little bit above still.
Okay.
I mean, we average about 97.
Okay.
So it's not out of the realm, but it's not record-breaking heat. I do feel bad for the kids that are back at school because recess is so brutal.
It's an early start. Yeah.
Can't touch the slide, don't touch the slide.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Don't
Bad idea.
touch the
Not fun.
slide.
Yeah. Anything metal out there. But they've done a lot now with playgrounds where they've made them.
I'm harkening back to my 80s and
right,
90s
when the
days
seesaw
when
and stuff where you would just touch
The
it.
metal.
now they've fixed it. Yeah. I think.
Good times. Good times.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of August here, so I am very thrilled to say this. I found this out over the weekend. This was the last weekend without NFL football for the rest of the year. Let's go, baby.
You know, I missed the kickoff. Wasn't it the Jags with
The Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game.
I didn't watch that either.
You didn't? Oh. All right, we are counting down to the Cowboys season. Oh, yeah. So it officially gets started on Saturday when Dallas plays Denver in the first game of preseason.
All right, those
This is
pesky
exciting.
Broncos. Yeah, all right. And there's a lot of pressure on el número cuatro. That would be one, Rain Dakota Prescott. Did you know that was his full name? Rain
No.
Dakota? Yeah.
No.
I like his full name.
It's like, who is Rain? Okay.
Also known as Dak Prescott, that would be QB1 for Whedon Boys.
Oh my gosh. Dak sat down with KSAT's Greg Simmons to talk about the upcoming season. Here's some of what he had to say about possibly leading Dallas back to the Super Bowl.
Defense wins championships. They'll get you there to get you those moments. But when you're there, the quarterback's going to be asked to make some throws and to make some plays that are unusual, I guess, or that you have to step up and be consistent in that game and go win that game. And so that's a moment I'm looking forward to and an opportunity I'm just trying to make sure that we can get to.
Is this the team that can get you there?
I believe so. Young, good mix with great veterans that have seen a lot of football, and some young, talented players that are hungry and ready to prove on it, not just for themselves, but for their units, offense and defense, and for this team. And it's an exciting combination.
All right.
Exciting
What do you
combo
think?
indeed.
So if you guys get a chance, go to KSAT.com. We have that interview. It was like a 5-minute interview that they put together, our guys, our crew out there in Oxnard, California. And one thing that I really liked was Dak's hoodie. I don't know if you saw it.
His hoodie?
It was clean. I liked it.
I was
Look at it.
paying
It was this one
attention
right
to
there.
his bucket hat.
He has the hat rocking too, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's got like an old school lettering. It's the old Cowboys helmet, the white
Very
helmet.
cool.
So big fan of that as well. But what do you think? Cowboys, Super Bowl? We doing this?
You already know my answer. I mean, I am realistic, right? But I
Okay.
am hopeful. Born and raised in Dallas, of course I'm always going to hope that they make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I am not a Cowboys hater. I do
Oh,
want the Cowboys to do well. I really do. I really like when they do well because it just uplifts a lot of different people, especially here in San Antonio. Big
There's
fan
a
base.
huge fan base.
We got a little bit of people that commented on this story on Facebook Live. Diana said 0-17 coming soon. Ah, Diana, what is up with that?
Diana, have a little faith.
Yeah, Mike Gonzalez says, and Simmons runs it back for a pick six, as in Dak is going to just throw more interceptions out there. I don't think so. I think the Cowboys are going to have a good season.
I think so,
Get
too.
ready to go here. Yeah, and it all starts this Saturday against the Broncos, preseason football.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Finally.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Football is always just a good time. And
Yeah.
then hopefully make it out to one of the games this season.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm planning to see the Cowboys once, not in Dallas, though. Tease right there.
Where?
Playing in Minnesota.
Oh, of course.
go.
All right. Very well. Wonderful.
That is the plan right now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much.
I didn't know if you were going to say
being with
anything else,
us.
RJ.
Oh, I could go all day with this stuff, but I will save all everyone's ears and eyes as they're watching and listening to us. Thank you very much for being with us on KSAT News Now.
This Monday. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Bye.